what's happening, man. You know what?
There he goes
You know why
again.
I realized why
There
I
he
always laugh
goes
when the
again.
intro starts,
There
bro.
he
You know why
goes.
I've always realized why I always laugh?
Why?
It's because you always started off like yo 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 yo. I'm like,
I don't know, man. I started off the first episode
oh,
that
man,
way. From there, it
snap.
became a trend again.
Yo,
Uh,
hey man,
what's up, everybody? It's your boy L to the Z.
and it's your boy Steel.
Yeah. Forget my very weird host. For some odd reason, he always laughs whenever
Why?
we start the show.
No man,
That is a very interesting question. Why?
no. I'm unforgettable. Come on, man. Don't do none of that.
Okay.
Don't do that. Don't
There he
listen
goes
to
again.
L-Zee.
There he goes. Uh, when you guys listen to this episode, this guy will be a married man. First of all, let's just highlight that he's
Okay.
he's not supposed to be on the episode because he'll be married. He'll be
People
having
don't
so
wanna
much
know
fun
that.
when this episode comes up.
People don't want to know that, bro. Why are you telling
People do
that?
want to know that.
They don't want
man.
to know that.
What? Show some love to your fans, man. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
He'll be a married man, a very happy man. Anyways, let's not drag the episode.
It is episode
Talking
3.
about no.
What episode is it?
Episode 3 was idols, man.
Oh, snap. Okay, what episode is this?
Wow. This is episode 5, man.
Oh, yeah, episode 5.
This is bad still. This is bad. This is bad.
Look, for our listeners that are listening, they don't understand that we record and, I don't know, we
Back
mix
to
up the
back.
recordings and then we, man. So forgive me for not knowing what episode this is.
That's fine. We know you're getting married, so your head's not in the game. We understand.
Yeah,
We
man, it's
understand.
actually clustered. It's like everywhere right now.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
forgive you, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's introduce our very
Dude, so you're really not gonna
Social.
You're not gonna congratulate Casper on your vest?
Yeah, I'm really not gonna do that.
No, I'm gonna congratulate
I'm
Casper on your
not
vest.
gonna do that.
No, I
man.
wanna say congratulations to Casper on your vest for filling up FNB Stadium.
Okay.
Wow.
Now I want
68,000 people. That's a record, bro. The only person to ever do that in the world internationally, the only person to ever do that was Eminem.
Okay, that's great. I want to say congratulations to Jay-Z for 8 Grammy nominations.
Dude, you've
man.
already mentioned that in the other episode, though.
I know.
This is a local.
I
This
know.
is local. You know what this is doing for the South African local industry? You know what that's doing for
That's
the industry?
not doing nothing actually.
What? Are you kidding me?
Who is he helping by doing what he's doing?
Bro, are you kidding me? People are already seeing and starting to believe that snap, this thing is actually possible. And
What's
you know what? I was
possible?
having a conversation with someone yesterday, and he's like, you know what Casper Nyovest is doing? He's starting a culture of being able to do these things, fill up stadiums, and making South African artists believe that it's possible, dude. Because L-Zee, as much as you might be sighing and whatnot, you're a rapper, okay? You're a rapper.
Forgive
And what
me.
you don't
I
understand.
dozed off there for a
hold
minute.
on, hold on. What you don't understand is this: is that at some point in time in your life, you're also gonna want to fill up a stadium. You're also gonna want to fill up a dome.
And
So
I will
this-
do all that.
So, but this is by seeing this because it's never been done before in South Africa, bruh. This is history,
That's
dude.
great, man.
Yeah, it's history. So it's making us believe that this thing is possible.
No,
And
it's
South
making
African
you
act,
believe that.
An African act
I've always known
can
it's
do
possible.
this. Yeah, but
But let's be honest, South Africans don't support, man. Let's be honest.
you can't say that after
Of course
68
I can say
after
that.
68,000 of them pitched up for FNB Stadium.
Yeah, how
You
many
can't-
people have tried to do what he did?
To do
What's
what?
so special about him?
The fact that he is actually doing it. That's what's special.
Man, so many artists could have done that. That deserved that. That've been in the game longer than he has.
What?
You trying to tell
my
me
gosh.
they couldn't do it?
L-Zee.
Why?
L-Zee. Okay, you know,
Why?
we're not gonna go. You're not gonna,
Why?
I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna let the people criticize you.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna,
can deal with the
I'm gonna
backlash.
leave it. I'm gonna leave it. Anyway, we've got 2 amazing guests with us.
Thank you.
Here in the studio. Please introduce yourselves, ladies.
Very social ladies. Mics are on.
My name is Civil, also known as The Real Civil on Instagram and YouTube.
Oh man, she
Hi, my
wastes
name
no
is
time.
Enada Kenny.
Oh, come on. Say hello, people, to the beautiful and married woman, which is Anador Kenny, right? Yeah, I have to say that right. I have to say that.
L-Zee likes talking
Welcome,
about
Sivu.
marriage. I've noticed.
Thank
this
you
thing, yeah.
for having me.
Man, I respect marriage, okay? I respect
Yeah.
marriage.
You
and
like
I
talking
love
about marriage. I've noticed this thing. Like he highlights it any chance he gets. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's a beautiful
It's a
thing.
beautiful
It is a
thing.
beautiful thing.
Thank you. See, someone that understands, man. Do you know how rare marriage is, bro?
But you crossing the borderlines of obsession now. Like you're almost obsessing about it. Oh my
Not to
gosh.
hate on Casper.
Yeah.
Going back to that conversation, did he sell those
Oh
ticket
my
numbers?
word! Why are we going
Yeah,
back
he
there?
sold-
That
he
was
sold-
spicy.
He sold
I-
72,000 tickets, which is a
Okay.
record.
Yes. Okay, that's good. I like people who make money.
Did he fill up the dome? I mean, the stadium.
The stadium is a 75,000 seater.
So he
Okay,
didn't
he
fill it
sold
up.
72,000 tickets, but only 68,000 plus people pitched. So no, he didn't necessarily fill it up to the brim.
Oh, that's
But
Mm.
dude,
great.
those are still numbers, nonetheless.
Really?
Yeah, I was listening to the radio last week. Can't remember which frequency, but they were talking about that, and they said even when Justin Bieber and Bruno Mars were
Yeah.
here, he even surpassed them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's quite an
Literally,
achievement.
internationally, he's the second person to pull up these numbers.
Yes.
In South
terms of-
Africa.
Eh,
In South
no, not in South Africa. Internationally, he's
What?
The, like in,
Dude,
term-
they're
in,
bigger
in,
stadiums,
in terms
man.
of hip hop. In terms of hip hop, he's the second person to ever do this. The only other one is Eminem.
First of all,
pull up such
Jay-Z
numbers.
has filled up. What's this place called now? Madison Square
Do you
Garden.
know how much?
Which
Do,
is
do you know how
huge.
much Madison Square Garden? How many people come through to Madison Square Garden? Not
sure,
even close
actually.
to not even close to 35,000.
You
Because
kidding.
it's not that big.
It's not that big.
Madison Square Garden is huge. Wait,
It's
wait, wait.
huge, but it's
I
not
need to
that
Google
big.
this, man.
It's not 35,000. It's not 35,000 people. You can't even put 35,000 people in there.
You're kidding.
And Casper Invest has already done 44,000 with Orlando Stadium, and now 68,000 with FNP. Come on,
Stadium. He fell short in Orlando Stadium.
he did
To 40,000
44,000 people. He didn't fill it up
He
to the brim.
fell
He did 40.
short of
fell
that
sh-
number
he fell-
in Orlando.
Okay,
Thank you.
I don't know who does more research in terms of hip hop. Yeah, do you do more research in terms of
It
hip hop?
doesn't necessarily mean I don't research on hip hop. I'm talking about the numbers that and the person that we're speaking about now is
Do you-
Casper Nyovest.
Yeah, do you know how much
fell short
the
on that
stadium
number
the stadium
in
seats
Orlando.
in
I'm
Orlando
not
Stadium?
sure how much, but he fell short on that.
He
number.
did 44,000 people. I'm not necessarily sure how much the stadium fills up. I think it's maybe 45,000 or 46. I'm not too sure, but he did 44,000 people.
Editing this
Orlando.
one out, right? Thanks.
Yes, it is. Anyway, we're speaking about social media and speaking about Casper Nyovest,
Thank
Anado. So Casper Nyovest really used social media. He really used social media, ne?
Mm.
With marketing, the whole thing. I noticed it. Like you hardly saw anything on TV or anything of that nature. It's only when he went up to those famous talk shows like Anele or
Yeah.
whatever, and Espresso and all these other shows on TV, Real Kopoza and whatnot, where he was market advertising and just speaking about it. But more than that, he used social media to do all of that. Now, I'm wanting to ask you, how important is social media in this generation, especially if you're a brand, and especially if you're okay, you know what? Before we go into that, please answer that question yes, but please also just let everybody know what you do and basically, yeah, what your job entails.
Okay. As I've said, I'm Enoda Kenny. I do social media at River Group. I run Christian pages, hotel pages, magazine pages, and yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty much the anchor of social media at this Christian organization. So please let us know, ne, how important is social media in this generation as a brand and as a marketing tool?
It's extremely important still. You know what? In this day and age, I guess we do whatever's trending out there.
Yeah,
In the past, it used to be flyers, print media, basically.
Whoa,
Your
snap.
flyers, your banners in the streets,
Yeah.
and on the poles in the street, you
Yeah.
get those pasted
Yeah.
flyers and stuff. But now it's social media.
sure.
People post, people share, people comment, people like, people trend,
Yeah.
people do stuff to market their businesses or products that would make it go viral,
Yeah,
you know. So it's extremely important, especially Facebook in South Africa,
yeah, yeah.
as to there are millions of people who are on Facebook in South Africa. So it's the perfect platform to present your product, to market it,
Yeah.
and to make it known.
You know what? I was actually even watching this other clip. Somebody shared a clip on Facebook, and stuff, and I clicked on it to watch it, and it was basically this gentleman who was saying, he's like, brand something something. He's an elderly gentleman. He's a brand something something. He's like gives advice basically on brands and how to develop your brand and how to
Yeah.
think your brand. And so he was being interviewed by one other guy, and this guy is asking him, is this a bad time or the best time to, like, this generation, this time now, to have a brand and to develop and market your brand? And he was speaking about how it's actually the best time to do it because of social media, because of the internet. So, like, from your side, I just want to know, what does it take, literally, for brands or artists or people, whatever, to get a following on social media?
It takes perseverance and commitment. You have to do your research. You have to research what your crowd, what your fans, what your friends like
Yeah.
on your page. You have to research why they follow you. What makes you you?
Yeah.
What makes your product your product?
Sure.
Who does your product help?
Yeah.
Does it help 18-year-olds, 16 to 18, or rather 16 to 25, or 35 to
Whoa.
45, or the older generation? So you need to do all of that market research, and then you can say in your minds, get set, ready, steady, go.
Oh.
So you can't just put stuff out there and expect someone, whoever, to just like, comment, and share. Because
Sure.
if it doesn't
Wow.
apply to me, if it doesn't apply to my life, if it won't make a difference in my life,
Yeah.
then I won't have anything to do with it. But for me, as a female, as a lady, if you post a product about hair,
Yeah.
say I'm going natural,
Yeah.
like I'm just doing my own hair, no synthetic, no weaves, no nothing, and I see a product there, they say it enhances growth, it makes your hair like, and I'm like, okay, that's what I actually want to do with my hair. Of course I'll like and share. Of
Yeah.
course I'll comment. Of course I'll buy the product.
Yeah.
But if I see something for, say for instance, for insulin,
Okay. Yeah.
that's for diabetic patients.
Yeah.
So obviously, I won't be interested in that post. So you need to do your market research. It's like television. If you run a talk show, for this show, for instance,
Yeah.
what do your viewers want to hear? Or rather, your listeners, what do they want to hear? Do they want to hear about anything medical? Do they want to hear about how to plant grass? What is your generation? Who's listening to
Yeah.
your podcast? Do you
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? So you can't just talk about anything. You do your first one, you do your research. What
Yeah.
age group are you guys in?
Attracting. Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously your age group is going to be listening to your podcast.
Yeah.
They're going to be interested.
Yeah.
Oh, what's Steele up to? Steele is a presenter. He's like a singer, hip hop artist.
Yeah.
Same as Randy. He's running a clothing
Yeah,
brand.
scratch
Yeah,
that
yeah.
single
Yeah.
part there.
Hip hop
He can
artist.
sing.
He raps and stuff.
Aye.
So, who's going to listen to your podcast? Obviously, people who are interested in presenting in
Yeah.
TV, in rap music, in Christian rap music.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, you guys were talking about Castor in your vest. Why would you guys be talking about Casper in your vest?
Yeah.
It's because you guys are rappers too. Do you
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
You are interested in what applies to you. So from that aspect, that's how you do your market research, and you find out what makes you you, what makes your product,
Sure.
and what will attract you to your listeners out there. So in a nutshell,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Those
was
are some bombs right there.
that was very informative. I like that. I
Sibu?
like
Can you say Sibu with a smile?
Please, go ahead.
She mentioned research. I love that. Can I just share one thing because when I was watching the news a few
Yes.
weeks ago, Google, and a lot of people Google. There's a thing that you can do with regards to how your name or how your product or whatever you're trying to market will pop up first.
that. Okay.
So okay, EU was suing Google because this is what Google did.
Suing Google.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
brave.
they were suing Google, the company, because they felt like they were being biased to because if your company does not advertise with Google, then chances of people searching for a certain product, brand, or someone that is outside of Google's marketing,
Yeah.
whatever paycheck or whatever, then that company will not pop up. The only companies or products or whatever that they marketing, only companies that advertise with Google will pop up first. So EU was saying they were being because Google is not a company for marketing necessarily; it's a search engine. So as a search engine, how do they make sure that everyone in that same area, like let's say for instance, I'm in East London and
Yeah.
I'm searching for a product in East London closer to me. And then if I type in there this product that I'm looking for or whatever person, and if the first companies that will pop up will be like, for instance, whoever is marketing with Google, and it will be outside of East London. So these guys were saying, how can Google do such a thing? Because how do I get to this product? How do I get this product if it's in the USA or it's in the whatever, if it's not in East London? Because they can pick up where I'm at, yet. So Google is not necessarily the best now because of the is it bias? They're being very biased. So if
like every other company.
Yes. So they were saying I have a right as a company to use Google as a search engine to make sure that my product pops up first because where am I located? Who am I trying to reach? So then, but is it fair for people to use Google? Is it fair?
Yes.
Is Google fair to everyone? And then are people, shouldn't Google do what they want to do, seeing that it's their company, how they choose to, how do I say it? I don't know. What role does Google play in that sense then? Are they fair to everyone if this is what they're doing? Because everyone goes on Google.
Okay. You know what? It's like Facebook nowadays.
Yeah.
Ne? You put a post out there in the past, in the early 2000, 2005 to 2000 and early 20.
The early 2000s.
You know?
Yeah.
When you post something on Facebook, your entire friend list sees it. Do you understand? Whether you do it public or to your friends. But nowadays, let's talk from a business page point of view.
Yeah.
When you post something, not everyone sees it.
Yes.
You've got a following of like 200,000.
Follows, yes.
Yeah, and you find that only 43 people liked that post. And you're like, what is
Makes
happening?
you
I
bad.
always ask myself.
Yeah.
that,
You know, so you're like, okay, I've got all these people, but not everyone is seeing my post.
Yeah.
It's all about money, guys.
Yes.
It's all about money. Same as Google.
Yeah.
Google will advertise people that pay for AdWords and all of those things. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Google is a business at the end of the day.
Yes.
Facebook
Is a business also.
is a business at the end of the day. And as much as Facebook just became a platform for people to connect with family and friends and people they haven't seen in a very long time. But then Facebook, Mark discovered, hey, I can make money out of this. That's where the ad campaigns came in and the sponsored stories and stuff. So nowadays, if you want, and not even everyone sees your post if you do a paid campaign, you have to really spend a lot of money if you want to get your product out there. You must have like a budget just for your product to be seen by your followers, not even by people who don't follow you yet, by your followers.
What?
Do you understand what I'm saying? So as much as people are saying Google is being biased or anything, I think it's just a thing about money. Because like you a brand ambassador because you're wearing your product every single day.
Yeah. Shout out
What
to
is
Blueprint.
easier? You know, what would you not do to get your brand out there?
Yeah, there's nothing. we
Yeah.
can do.
There's nothing you wouldn't do. Same
Yes.
as Facebook.
Yeah.
We must stop looking at these big companies and thinking, it's just the money. Guys, there are people
Everything.
owning these businesses and they need to make money. They need to
Yeah.
sustain themselves in order to
Yes.
keep what they have going.
Yes.
Do you understand? They always say, you go into a rich person's house, you would never say they're rich by just looking at them. But when you look at their portfolio,
Yes.
the reason being is that you find that we spend our money recklessly, but yet rich people think twice before they buy something. Yet we just want to run into stores and Black Friday this and Black Friday that.
Sure.
And we wonder why our finances look as dull as they do. Do you
Yes.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, bringing it back, it's all about business, guys, in making money. As much as us small companies really feel that Facebook is exploiting us, Google is exploiting us, but at the end of the day, it's a business. And they have employees that they need to pay each and every month, that need to keep the search engines going, that need to take all the ugly stuff off of Facebook, off of Google,
Yeah.
and make sure there's fresh content on there, and make sure that Google reminds us that today is Thanksgiving. That, do you
Yeah.
understand?
Google does a lot.
Google does a lot.
So it's more important to spend on your marketing versus how much you profit with regards in hoping that you will
By
profit.
spending on
yeah.
your marketing will affect what you profit. So it's like a win-win situation. As much as it's like myself, I do jewelry. I make jewelry and stuff.
Yeah.
If I don't buy quality
Yes.
beads and quality wires and quality fabric, quality thread and stuff like that,
Yeah.
how will people buy my stuff?
Yes.
If I'm a dressmaker and I don't buy quality material and I buy the cheapest material that I can find, the person wears it once and it tears. That person is not going to recommend me.
Yeah.
I always say I
Yes.
hire people.
Yes.
I hire people to do stuff around my house like painting and stuff like that. If you do a good job, I recommend you. If you do not do a good job and you drag the job out, I'll never recommend you.
You'll never
Because
get recommendation.
the recommendation is going to come from me, and yet I know that you are a lazy person.
Yes.
You are just a person that's after my money.
Mm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's
Mm.
like these builders. They say it's, for instance, I don't know how much they charge, but let's say 90 Rand a day.
Yeah.
They lay one brick down per day. How long is it going to take you to, how long are they going to take to finish that place? And how much money is going to come out of your pocket?
Yeah. a lot,
Mm.
bro.
People
Yeah.
exploit people. Do you understand? So this thing, it's like it can run away from you if you don't think about it carefully.
Yeah.
But yet, as much as we want to spend less money, we can't exactly blame Google or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram for what they're doing, because at the end of the day, they're also
They
just
got
trying to
those people.
sustain their business.
So again, what
and
do they
make a
call that thing
profit.
when
That is
you
it.
market with Google so that your words come out first? If
Edwards.
they okay, I'm gonna try that
Yeah.
Sure.
So we gotta basically pay for promotions
on
in order
Google.
to.
Okay.
You know what? I actually used to
in.
wonder about this thing. I'm like, how do these guys make money? I thought they would make money from data, you logging on, posting every
Yeah.
single post you post. Because, I mean, that's data out of your
No.
pocket.
Telco
you
makes
know-
money out of data.
Okay, so-
MTN makes money
Okay,
out
so
of
it's the
data.
service providers that make money out
Yes.
of
Yeah. You know why we think that? It's because we don't read the T's and C's, man.
Yeah.
T's and C's actually explain everything. Because Facebook was never created for businesses, first of all.
Yeah.
It was created for people to meet each other around the world,
Yeah.
to communicate.
Yes.
People saw,
Initially.
like business people saw that,
An
wow,
opportunity.
everyone
potential.
is
Yeah.
focused on this platform.
Yeah.
So let's use it for business.
Yes.
Then Facebook then changed their motto, like, okay, we're getting a lot of business outside.
Yeah.
Let's forget the social people for
Yeah.
a minute and let's focus on what's bringing us more money.
Yes.
And now it's $1 billion. What?
Yo, bruh.
Exactly.
Jeepers creepers. So, Anado, I want to know, for someone who might be listening, and because you do social media as a profession, and they're listening to this podcast, and they really want to go into social media, they really want to, either perhaps one day work for Google, or perhaps work for Yahoo, or maybe work for
Yo.
I don't know, any company, because like right now social media literally is like a
It's
need.
popping.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Almost
Popping.
almost like IT. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there isn't a company right now that isn't wanting to hire an IT specialist,
Yes.
and so social media is literally going that route. And if it's
Yeah.
not there already,
It's definitely.
I
there,
think
man.
it's
definitely-
there already.
It's there already.
So
yes.
so if for somebody who's listening there, listening to this podcast, what do they need to do? How do they get to those spaces? What do they need to study? Let's start in high school, because in high school, most it's either you take some schools you take commerce, some schools you take I don't know what other
Yeah.
subjects and stuff like that. But So what do they need to study in school, and then after school in varsity, what is it that they need to study? And yeah, how do they basically get to becoming a social media administrator or social media analyst or social media what and all
Social
these
Yeah.
media
things?
guru.
Yeah, social media guru and all these things.
You know what? Still, no matter the subject you study in high school,
Yeah.
I think more, more it's what you do afterwards.
Okay.
Because I'm not familiar with the curriculum in high school at the moment,
Yeah.
but I think they don't have communication. I think the only subject they have at the moment is life skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not familiar of what the subjects are at the moment, but you can study communication, you can study marketing, you can study social science, you can study public relations,
Okay.
or you can just teach yourself. That's why Dr. Google is there. Mr.
Okay.
Google. Do you understand?
Okay.
Professor Google is out there. You teach yourself.
Yeah.
How do I open a Facebook account?
Yeah.
Mm.
How do I open a Facebook page? How do I run my Instagram? How to. Wikipedia is there to show you. They've got tutorials on YouTube that show you exactly what you need to do.
Yeah.
Sky is the limit. All it takes is perseverance and commitment, and you'll get where you can. You can't study to be a doctor on Dr. Google. It won't work out.
Yeah.
But for social media and other stuff,
Wow.
it can teach you. There are how-tos. How do I take better care of my skin? Google will tell you.
And the
Or you
recipe
can
will
go
pop
to
up.
a dermatologist. Do you understand? It's like it's how committed you are. Do you understand? Because social media as a job, as a career, only became a thing like a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Do you understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And now educational institution is also jumping on board. They have subjects about it. You can do online courses. You can go and study it at colleges nowadays. So sky is the limit. But if you don't have money, teach yourself.
I usually ask
Yeah.
Professor Anadel for certain things. Like this morning, I was asking her something because sometimes you get so confused. It's very confusing. Sometimes it's easy what you read, what they show you on Google can
Yeah.
be confusing. So sometimes it's easy to ask the next person next to you. So my closest one will be Professor Anadel. 'Cause it's for real. You're like, oh, this is what they meant because she's more visual. She's like close to me. I can speak to her and stuff. So.
That's good.
I
So
agree.
in other words,
Consult each
people,
other.
so in other words, people, you need to find yourself an editor, someone who's gonna, push you. But it's like I always tell people, man. Like, if you ever want to learn anything,
Yeah.
it's not about really school, because school only teaches you what they forced to teach you. But what really matters is what you do outside of school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it doesn't matter how much you can learn at school, but what matters is what you learn after school. How much time are you investing in whatever you are learning?
Yeah.
Are you waiting for your lecturer to tell you, okay, today we're studying this, or are you studying ahead? Those type of things is what make you persevere in life. We need to be at a level where we're always thinking ahead and never waiting for things to be thrown at us like, okay,
Yeah,
do this,
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So I have another question, right? So the question is, you're finding a lot of people, especially the millennials, setting up YouTube channels and literally doing YouTube videos on a full-time basis. And some of them are millionaires like now and stuff like that, right? Just from YouTube,
Yeah.
they're millionaires and stuff like that. So the question that I have is, do you think this is literally for everyone? Do you think everyone could embark on this journey of
I'll give this one
That
to
is a good
Sivu.
question.
making
It's-
videos
it's-
on social media?
Yeah, the rule civil says that it is it's for everyone and anyone that wants to start something fresh and
Yes.
just wants to just like think outside of the box. I'll tell you something from that I read from my favorite fashion Bible called the Vogue.
Vogue
Yes,
magazine.
the Vogue magazine still does not like me saying
The
it's
what?
a Bible book
No,
or
I don't
fashion
like you
Bible.
saying it's a Vogue
Yes,
Bible. It's a
anyway.
Bible.
This lady, she says here, it's a British Vogue. She says in here, she's an influencer. These people are called influencers. She says, let me just find it quickly. She said, wow, Okay, let me just find it quickly while we're looking. Randy? Okay. She says the number of followers you have is more important what you have on your CV, basically, because I read this article last week already. She says your number of followers is more important than anything else you can add to your CV. It has become your worth. And then you can make so much money. She says as well that these companies, okay, let me first explain what an influencer is. According to Vogue, British magazine, this is what they say. They are flown around the world by designers and they can charge thousands for an Instagram post. As the Committee of Advertising Practices, with Instagram and influencers, there's also laws and there's also certain practices that people have to abide. There's rules to everything. So you get approached by this company or this designer and they take you to this location and they snap photos of you with their product or with their bag or whatever that they're selling, and they pay you to post that on your Instagram. And then there's likes and there's everything, and every click, every like, every reach, there's a price to it. And she says to it, they typically charge 2,000 to 5,000 pounds for a post on their Instagram feed, with the high scores. And those with more than 1 million followers, they will charge about 30,000 pounds per post for stuff to appear on their post, because they know it's either on print or it's on their Instagram. Because now I like to see things like I go to Anadolu to ask for advice. If I see something I like on Instagram, because I'm constantly always on Instagram, and a lot of people are on Instagram because they follow these influencers.
Sometimes.
Yes, hence they called influencers, because they influence a certain number of millennials.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. Yo, still, man, I think we're in the wrong profession.
Look,
we need
man.
to get this money. These
What?
pounds, bro.
This
We
guy.
need to get these pounds, man. What?
Nah,
You can
man.
charge what? 30
30,000
30,000
if you more than
pounds.
those. Yeah, because there's practices and rules. You have to prove that why
post.
you need to, why this company has to pay you 30,000 pounds per post, because you have to follow the advertising regulations.
But regarding follows,
Mm.
this is something that I've noticed. A person can have like 1 million followers, but maximum of likes that they get is like 50,000 maximum though.
50,000. Yes, because some people look and they don't click like.
Yeah.
Yes, that's another thing. So
that's another brilliant point.
yes,
Wow.
because people will. It's about engagement. If you have an Instagram page and it's a business Instagram page, if you look, there's a you let me go to it quickly. You go to your page, right?
Yes.
And then Instagram has made it so easy, especially if it's a business page. You go to your profile and then you can click on one photo and it will show you how many reach it has reached. And working with Miss Kenny here, she has also shown me, because she has to give stacks to her boss to show how many people were reached. How did it go? Because there's graphics. Those funny things versus the likes or the clicks on your page are more important. The likes are important as well, but people like to be shady sometimes. I feel they don't want to be seen or associated with someone or something, but they look at it.
I do that.
Yeah, so sometimes it's scary to be associated with something that you like. Oh, maybe I don't necessarily agree with this person or how they live their life, but they will look at your feed and they will engage in a different way by just being there. So the graphics, there's anything,
like there's certain artists, like, because I'm an artist, I check on a lot of artists on what they're doing and what's going on, because even though I may not necessarily agree with what they do, but I need to understand how they maneuver because of their success rate. Now, the thing is, I've noticed in videos, you get the views, regardless of the person liking the video or not.
Yeah.
Why can't we do that with posts, though?
Like Selena Gomez has the most followers on Instagram. I'll speak about her because I follow her on Instagram.
Okay.
She has this number of followers, but with every post that she has, doesn't match the number of followers.
Yeah.
She has more than 1 million followers. Every post that she has, is it like to the T? She has, let's say for instance, she has 50 million followers.
Yeah.
She has more than that. So the last post she has now, is it 50 million likes.
No.
Exactly.
I've never seen anyone reach 1 million on likes anyway.
Like I said, not everyone will like everything that
Yeah.
you. They will look at it, but they won't necessarily
Necessarily
click the
click
like,
yeah.
the like button, like you said with the videos on
Mm.
views and stuff. That's how it is. Some people are selfish. They don't want to click like or be associated
Yeah,
with
because
you.
I used to notice like the views of the video is more than the actual likes. I'm like, so many people are seeing posts. It's just that
Yeah,
they just don't hit the like.
yeah. It's the
What
engagement.
can we do to get them to engage, man? To hit that like?
There's nothing you can do because people want to be selfish. Let's be honest. People want to be selfish, and sometimes they want to protect themselves from liking something that they could get them into trouble. Let's say, for
Yeah.
instance, the work.
Yeah, I don't want to be seen liking Stills post and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit
Especially if
sad.
it's something controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be
It's very
honest. I
controversial.
also do that. I go on YouTube. I mean, I'll view videos and stuff like that, but I won't necessarily like them because I know if I like
Yeah.
them, they're gonna appear on my channel. You
Yes.
understand? And it's like, it'll still don't really like this video
Yeah.
because I, at the end of the day, I don't want to be a stumbling block to someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? Because for me, I don't know. I'm free, to
Yeah.
do what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I'm free to view a Casper in your vest video or whatever like that to see, okay, what's happening here, what's popping here. All right, cool. But I'm not gonna necessarily like it because maybe it has language inside like that I don't
Yeah,
agree
things
with. That's
that you don't
offensive.
agree with.
You understand? You know
That
what I
is
mean?
an
So
excellent point
yeah.
because I was having the same problem not so long ago when remember the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with it, but to a certain extent I don't.
Okay.
Because Black lives do matter,
Yes.
but we still have to deal with the fact that black people kill more black people than anybody else anyway.
yeah,
Because we kill each other daily.
true.
Now, I agree with the fact that black lives do matter, but the reason why I couldn't like it is because it would seem like now I'm saying that
It'll almost kind of maybe make you seem sort of kind of not really, but kind of sort of borderline racist.
yeah,
Yeah, I
And
get exactly what you mean.
to
Yeah.
a certain extent because the problem that I had with Black Lives Matter is that it was one sided.
Yeah.
It was towards white people and it wasn't all around. Because when gangsters kill each other daily, nobody says Black Lives Matter.
True.
The minute a white person kills a black person, all of a sudden now it's Black Lives Matter.
I think they said Black Lives #Black Lives Matters because it was a different race killing a different race. So the way they were being killed
Yeah.
is because it was unfair, even though it's
It
not
is.
still not right. Because like you said,
Yeah.
the gangsterism and then other people of the same race killing each other
Yeah.
is also just as not
It's
nice.
just as bad.
But because they wanted to make a statement because of how because we were watching news from a certain news publication
Yes.
and it was brought to us, so we were not necessarily there. So but it's also very controversial to
It's
go into
very
#Black
controversial.
Lives Matter.
It's
So
very
yeah, I get what you're saying, but because it was a different race, that's why they made it like no, can't do that to our own. Yeah.
It's
So-
it's very difficult to like everything.
Yeah,
it's very
that's true.
difficult to like
And
everything.
I wanna ask, do businesses, companies, because obviously these are the people that fund sponsorships and stuff like that and all these things. Do they look at the likes or the views in order to jump onto something?
It's engagement.
We just
It
spoke about this.
depends.
You didn't listen to any.
It depends. It depends on what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Are you talking about brand awareness? Are you talking about engaging in that post that you are advertising maybe your product or your
Yeah.
brand? What can you be more specific?
So let's say, for instance, Toyota, right?
Mm.
They want to advertise their car, maybe their brand new car and stuff like that. Are they looking at the views? Let's say I have 500,000 subscribers, right? But on average, I average about 11 million views with almost every single post. So almost every single post I'll probably post or put on YouTube, every video I probably put on YouTube, I'd get like 11 million subscribers. not subscribers, views, but I've got like 500,000 subscribers. So do they look at the subscribers or do they look at the views?
I would say both.
Okay.
Um, you know what? Still, it's like I always say when I upload a video,
Yeah.
a Sunday sermon or just a promotion or
Yeah.
just whatever I'm uploading, I always upload it and then let it go to Twitter and Google Plus.
Okay.
You see, they give you a section in that post where you can write whatever. So I always say thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe to Smile. And then the next day or whenever when I check it, I find new subscriber every single day. I
Wow.
find new subscribers.
Wow.
Like this morning when I got to my computer, I saw this person is subscribed and that person is commented and this person is subscribed. So it all depends on what you will want as the service provider.
Yeah.
What are you looking for? Because if you're looking for views, up until when? Because the only thing you need to be looking for is leads.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
You need to be looking for leads. What can I post in order for people to engage that I can follow up on?
What are leads? Sorry, I just want to.
Leads are like people saying, "Oh, I'm interested in this."
Okay.
You advertise the brand new Toyota. What's the new one?
Yeah,
No,
don't ask me about
Toyota, we're
cars,
talking
I'm
about
very
Toyota.
clueless.
Yeah, whatever brand new Toyota that's out there at the moment.
Yeah.
You find people. What you need to be looking out for is like, I'm interested,
Okay.
or how much is this car? What features does it have?
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
That's the type of comments that you should be looking for. Yes, we want the likes. Yes, we want the views, but the leads are what we're after because we want to comment. We want to reply back to you and say, these are contact details, or reply to what you are asking specifically.
Yeah.
And then ask for your contact details because we want to email you next time.
Yeah.
We have a special. Next time we have a brand new car going on the market and so on. So yes, we want the views because we want to see that there are people out there that are actually viewing our products, that are seeing what we've got. Yes, we want the likes because we want to see how many people actually like what we're putting out there on the internet, but we want the leads as well. We want the engagement, but we want people to be so interested that they actually want to buy our product. Do you understand?
Oh, social media thing is there's a lot to it that meets the eye.
Yeah, man.
Because one might look at
Yeah.
it from a distance and be thinking to themselves, "Oh, it's now social media. You know, I log on social media, just chat maybe here and there." But like, there's all these technicalities also that you need to consider if you're looking to be a brand and market your business on social media.
So, pretty much what you're saying, Anada, is that people with a lot of followers, they can actually turn their accounts into business in order to get jobs.
Definitely. Like
Yeah.
Sivu said, they can become influencers. And that really pays a lot nowadays.
Yeah. People should start doing that, man. Because I think people have too many followers and they just posting random stuff daily, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
They should
niece,
make money out of it.
my niece is 3, and she was approached by this British company, and she was told she needs to market. Obviously, the mom is managing the page. She's only 3. She's there, but she doesn't see what's there unless she gets shown what's on her Instagram and stuff. So anyone can do it because she's 3 and there are babies that are 3 years old that need to
Yeah.
wear clothes. So the moms will
Mm.
buy. So she was approached by this company. So they give her the product and she needs to just post about it on her page, and whatever profit, she will make a profit out of that. 20% will go into her account when people buy using her code. So
Yes.
companies do approach people. It's more in first world countries versus South Africa where we are now.
Yeah.
South Africa is slowly coming into it, but it's just like it's more there. It's like so quick there and so easy because location and people shipping the product to the person is cheaper, it's easier, it's quicker, it's safer, that type of thing. So influencers are real and they do make lots
Yeah.
of money on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah. But y'all better not go out here and start pimping your children, man. But yeah, it is a great way to make money, especially if you want to get your children into expensive schools and you feel that you can't afford it. You can start young, uh, get them into these businesses, whatever. Then they can pay throughout school for themselves.
It's been done for years, so it's not a new thing to make young children work. I mean, now it's easier. I feel now it's more easier than what it used to be like before, because this is your own company, sort of. You control it
Yes.
yourself, and people come to you. She didn't go out there, but you can go to companies and approach them
Yeah.
and say, "This is what I do. Would you like?" And yeah,
But it's also preference. If you're
Yeah.
comfortable to do it,
Yeah,
do it.
that-
But if you're not comfortable, it's like with my kids. I've got twins and they've got the biggest hair ever.
yeah.
Yo,
So-
they've got amazing. I was actually seeing a picture on Facebook. I
Yeah.
think this morning I'm like, "Stop, they got so much hair, bro. Like
Yeah.
I want
They
my
got hair
daughters to
for
have
days.
lots of hair,
bro.
bro.
They got hair for days.
So
Yeah.
people are always saying, why don't you
I'm that
advertise hair
person.
products? Why don't you?
Yeah.
And I said to this other person, you know what? Someone else actually said this to me. And they're always like, yo, Enido, these kids with the hair, you can do hair products and stuff. But at this point in time, I feel I don't have the time and I'm not comfortable yet to go into that
Yeah.
type of business with my kids. For me, it's like, I'm more like, as much as it won't involve the child directly,
Mm.
but I'm very private on social media. So what I post, I feel comfortable with. So I don't want it to become an effort that I'm pressurized to post something about my child every
Yeah.
single day. I like posting special moments if I find that, oh, I need to share this, but I don't want to feel pressurized to every day do something with my kids on social media, because I'm just that type of person that let the child be, let the child grow up, let the child keep
Decide
the
eventually.
innocence. Yeah, I'm also that type of person that will allow a child to wear baby jumpers until they're like 3 years old,
Yeah.
if they make it in that size. I'm not keen on putting Q-tex on little children. I'm not keen on make-upping a 3-year-old. I'm not keen on making them look like adults. I'm all about the cute stuff. I'm not shading people who do it. I just do me where my kids are concerned.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
like
No,
how
I
she said
agree
I'm
with
not
you,
shady.
I
No,
actually
I'm
agree
not.
with that.
I'm really not. If you want to put Q-tex on your child's toes, it's like my 5-year-old came home yesterday. She's like, "Mommy, you know what? For instance, I'm just gonna use a random name, Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle has got Q-tex on her toes and her fingernails. Can I also?" I'm like, the number one rule: no Q-tex up until you're 21. That's my rule.
21.
No lips.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
long as you are under my roof,
I love those
you
teachings,
do not
man.
do things like that. It's like
Yo.
when you're out, when you're living in your own space and
Yeah.
you're not. I don't have to provide for you anymore. Although, like, I'll probably
make your
provide
own
for my kids
decision.
up until I'm like whatever, because you need to look after your
Not
kids.
in my house. I love that.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I
But
love
not in
that.
my house.
Yeah.
Like, you will not have a belly ring while living under my roof. Stuff like that.
Come
So
on.
I'm very strict when it comes to things like that.
Yeah.
But I thank God that my eldest at this point in time, she's very mellow, she's laid back, sneakers, jeans, jacket, and then she's a girl,
Okay.
So for me, it's like, do you as a parent? I'll do me.
Thank you. I love that anecdote because I agree fully. Okay. I agree fully.
And also, can I also just mention one thing that is very
Yeah.
important with regards to the business side of social media? This lady writes here, for a successful influencer, integrity is everything. She said, I achieved my goals thanks to all the no's that I gave, which was very difficult at the beginning
Yeah.
of my career. But now I recognize how important it was to turn down so many offers, she says. And she's 29 years old and she's a businesswoman now. And she says, she has even had a Harvard MBA case study written about her. So influencers, social media, what you put out there is very important. I mean, MBA, Harvard is a company that these big companies, like the guys who created Facebook, where did they study? Where did
They
they
went
study?
to Harvard.
Yes. So now everything is just falls into place. They did a case study
Yeah.
about this young lady, and she's only like 29. So integrity and just taking everything you do and then doing it with pride is just as
Yes.
important. It's
Yes.
a big deal. It's a company that you own yourself. You are in control of. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
And
Yeah, man.
do you think perhaps social media is gonna at some point take a dip, or is it only just going to go high and extreme?
I don't think anyone can tell you that um, except God.
Wow.
Do you understand? Because anything can fly high, but something can happen for it to just not exist anymore, or for it to just, like for instance, Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter was like the it in the game back then.
Isn't it still the it?
It's dropped.
Really?
Yeah, it's dropped a lot. People are more on Facebook because Facebook it's
In
much
South Africa.
easier in South Africa. Yes, yes, very important in South Africa. Facebook is much more easier to use. It's
Yeah.
user friendly. All of that. Twitter makes you think because there are only a certain number of characters. It's like
True,
it's
true,
such an
true.
effort to
True.
keep up with. Do you understand? As Facebook, you can write it about 1,000 characters. You can post a lot of
Yeah.
pictures. You can just go,
Yeah.
you know,
true,
go
true,
crazy
true,
on
true, true.
Facebook. So that's why it's not user friendly for, like, they always call it an idiot's guide to knowing something, which is Facebook. You open your account and you try it, and then you master it.
Oh, okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So from that point of view, but as I'm saying, still anything can happen. Nothing is promised in
Yeah.
this world.
Yeah.
You know, only God is the promised one that knows that what's going to happen when, here or there. The text would say, "Oh wow, social media will never go extinct," but who are we to say something like that? Only God knows. So to answer you, only God knows.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
You know, because from what I've been seeing, because when I first came onto social media, my first entry into social media was Mixed. Ne?
Yeah.
I think that was everyone's start.
Still
yeah.
left the group
Yeah.
before BBM and all of those things. Let's chat private.
That was my first entry into social media, and honestly speaking, I didn't really see social media becoming as big as it is honestly
Yeah.
back then. But from what I saw, it just only evolved. Like Mix It now, it's still there, but I don't think a lot of people use it. I don't even know who uses it.
Is it though?
You know what I mean?
I think certain countries use it.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I think so. But it's still there. But I'm just like, Aish, yeah, okay, cool. But I've just been seeing social media evolve and evolve.
Mm.
So like 1 minute Twitter, oh well, BBM came out,
Yes.
and then now
That
it's not
also
BBM,
It's
died.
no
and
more.
now it's WhatsApp. You understand? So I'm
Mm.
just seeing like it evolve the whole time. That's why I'm like thinking, yeah, I don't know.
And
Will,
we
will
use
it ever,
chat.
will it ever be extinct, or will it only just evolve?
Something better always comes along.
Yeah, that's the
It's like I was saying to someone, they were talking about, you would notice on WhatsApp they've got statuses, they've got all these things,
Yeah.
and you would notice even on Instagram they've got all these things, your stories, and then you
Yeah.
all of a sudden, Facebook also has a story. And what people don't know is WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook, it's same WhatsApp group. Do you understand?
Sure.
Same people. So obviously what happens here on text messaging,
Yeah.
Mark is a genius. We all know that. He did Facebook, and then he was like, okay, who's out there trying to win me? And then he
Yeah.
did Instagram.
Yeah.
He bought Instagram, and it was like, okay, now I've got
Did
this
he
photo.
buy Instagram?
Wow.
Wow.
He owns Instagram.
Wow.
And then
Whoa.
now he's got Instagram, and then he saw, oh, what? WhatsApp is the next best thing. So he bought WhatsApp.
He bought
Are you
it.
kidding?
Yeah. So it's like, that's why you would find similarities on WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook.
Because I wanted to ask
What?
you. Because I
Yeah.
really wanted to ask this question. Because we see that, like the whole stories thing and whatnot, it's moving on to different platforms. I thought when you use someone else's idea, you're supposed to get sued. I've been meaning to ask, why don't these guys like sue each other?
Yeah.
This
Because of all the
explains why.
similarities.
Because he owns everything.
And
Yeah.
this makes perfect
Yeah.
sense because Twitter doesn't have that. It doesn't have stories. It doesn't have.
None of that. None of that.
Wow, I did not know
Yeah,
this up until this very moment.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
also didn't know up until
Mark
I
is
tried to
smart.
figure out who owns all of these things.
Yeah.
So if you go on WhatsApp, if you search who owns WhatsApp, you would see there's WhatsApp Inc., parent organization, Facebook Inc.
Sure. And you're showing it to me right now. I'm looking at it right now, and I
Yes.
can see.
Wow.
There was a
Jeepers
guy
creepers.
who
Mark
created.
Zuckerberg is definitely the.
Yeah, the
He's
guy
the
who
guy?
created, there was an inspirational Tuesday type of thing or whatever. And then this guy who created WhatsApp, he tweeted, he said, when I first created WhatsApp, no one would believe in me and no one wanted to buy the company. No one wanted to sponsor me or no one wanted to be a part of what I was doing because they didn't believe in my product. Yet I didn't let that get to me. I continued. Now he's tweeting and he first approached the guys who owned Twitter. And the guys, they were like, no, sorry, we don't believe in this product. We don't think it's going to work. No one believed that it will work.
Wow.
So now he's tweeting this on a platform that he first approached, saying now he just sold WhatsApp to this organization, like Ananda just mentioned, for 3 times or 20 times more than what the original price was. And he's putting this out on Twitter to the people who first rejected him. So it's a big thing, app creation.
Sounds very bitter.
He was not bitter. He was just saying, don't despise small beginnings, basically.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. So, Sivu, you also in social media, and you have your own business, which is the makeup business.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, man.
Yes, I do have. I am into social media as well, 100%, and I
Yeah.
do have a business. Thank you for saying it's a business because until just before you said that, I never said it. It's my business. Like really, really, and then I didn't believe it until you just
Wow.
said it.
Come on.
Wow.
I
So
think I
thank
should
you.
get 20% of the proceeds.
I can powder your nose for free. Yeah, I do own a page, an Instagram page and a Facebook page, and I do
Yes.
own a makeup business called The Real Sivu. I'm on YouTube as The Real Sivu, Instagram as The Real Sivu, and Facebook as The Real Sivu. Yes, it's something that I've started as a passion on my own by myself because I felt I was bored. It's something that I could do. Yeah, I was really bored.
That's a bad way to start your business.
No, I was bored, so I wanted to create something. I wanted to entertain myself. That's just me. I always find ways to entertain myself. So I said, let me start this so I can focus on something else instead of worrying about what was to come, what was going on in my life at the time when I started it. So I started, and here we are now on my Instagram. I have that. You have to go and check it out. This Real Sivu. It's going well so far, I would like to think. And people are speaking to me. They're asking me for certain things, and they just like, hey, we want you to come and help us with this and this and that.
Yeah, I noticed on your page that you are helping out the bride to be with her makeup for the wedding.
Yes, that
Yeah, man.
I am doing that
Oh,
as well.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Say thank you. Hey,
L-Zee, I love
Say
one of
thank
the
you.
questions
Wait,
that you
wait,
have on
wait.
here.
wait,
You said
still.
here, is there a disadvantage to not using makeup in media? And what are the advantages to using makeup?
Really? Really?
Yeah. That's the
First of
question.
all-
That's the question you have on here.
First of all, don't do that. Say thank you to Sivu.
For what?
Because she's making up your wife, man.
Still
Well,
has
your
been
wife to
on
be.
some shady thing since we came
Show
here.
some
It's
love,
been
man. Show
an
some
hour.
love.
It's like he's taking whatever happened whenever into this podcast. It's so sad. I can just walk out and be like, I can't do it because it's so ridiculous. It's like so annoying.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I deal with
There's
him,
no
so I understand.
engagement. It's like I don't I'm not worried if you want to make yourself look stupid on something because if you listen to this podcast from the beginning, you're gonna
Play nice now, kids. Play nice.
Yes.
Play nice.
anyway.
Still. Come on, man. Say thank
No, I don't want him to say thank you. He is paying me.
you.
Exactly.
So if you don't say thank you, it's
know what
your
I mean?
baby and this your photos. It doesn't matter. I will
Yeah.
not beg for someone
She's
to
still
say
getting
thank
that
you.
paper, bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Seems like he's just bitter by the fact that you're making him pay.
no.
Yeah, that's what
Why
it
would
seems
you-
like now.
If you can pay, if you
Why
can
would
pay
you
for
don't
your
wanna say
clothes,
thank you?
I believe in investing. I believe in investing
Yes.
into other
Doesn't
business.
sound like
I,
you're
I
investing
believe in
because
investing
No.
in businesses.
You can't even
bruh.
say thank you.
I believe in investing in businesses.
Come on, man. Come on. So
Yeah.
tell us
Yeah.
more. Tell us more.
Moving on.
Yeah, but anyway, I just want my favorite quotation ever in the world is this one that I found. It's my ultimate favorite quotation because I believe everyone should be on this quotation. They should just believe it because wow.
Yeah, her iPad's giving her issues, people. Just give it a sec.
Okay, let me just find it quickly. I wrote it down.
Somewhere in South Africa, East London, someone's searching for a quote,
Yeah, I wrote it down because it's my favorite quotation.
and it goes something like
Okay, what?
5, 4, 3, 2,
And
1.
so my favorite quotation it says,
Yeah.
it says, you don't owe prettiness to anyone, not to your boyfriend, spouse, partner, not to your coworkers, especially not to random men on the street or women on the street. You don't owe it to your mother, you don't owe it to your own children. You don't owe it to civilization. In general, prettiness is not a rent you pay for occupying a space called female or male. That is my one to go to because when it comes to makeup, a lot of us
Very critical.
some people will view the person who's wearing makeup as like dumb or stupid or
That's a
unknowledgeable.
new one.
Yes, they feel like just because you're wearing something on your face, because
Yeah.
sometimes it can be so much, they be like, oh, she's this, and that they judge you based on what you put on your face,
Yeah.
because that's the first thing that they look at when they engage with you.
Okay.
So they would like, okay, you stupid, you dumb, or whatever, you don't know anything in the world. You know, most companies.
You're a blonde, basically.
I don't like to use blonde, but they view as stupid.
That's
You-
what they say.
Mm.
Like I'm not for sorry, Sivu. I'm not for calling people names and stuff like that, you know, stigmatization and so on. But they say when you put makeup on and you're all pretty and pinkish and stuff, they call you a blonde.
Yeah, which is sad because the companies that make these products
Are
are making
clearly
the
not
most
blonde.
money, you know.
Yeah.
So there's so much, even men that are in the most popular man in sport, the most popular man in music, the most popular people in the industry that we follow, they use the same product. But when
Yeah.
it's, so
Like
the people that
podcast
we
host
look
you.
into, that we follow, and that we see as, you know, inspirational people,
Yeah.
use the same product, you know. So just as long as you do it for yourself before anything else, you don't have to put it on. This makeup thing, you do have to put it on when you need to, but don't feel like you need to do it for someone else or for anything else other than for yourself to feel good.
Okay, so your guys' reasoning for makeup is because you guys want to feel or look good. Which one is it?
For
Or
me,
both?
when the first time I applied makeup, it
Yeah.
was when I had to leave the country. I was over 21,
Mhm.
and in my mind, in being a South African, I always thought, no, people who put makeup on are just this and this and that. I was also one of those people.
Oh,
They,
come
you
on.
know, they're not natural, they're not
Mm.
this and that. Until I was walking in the mall in this country in England,
Yeah.
and I'm walking, and then they were giving out flyers, and the flyers, they were advertising, you know, for work during the festive season.
Okay.
So I took the flyer and I applied, and luckily I got called in for an interview. I go for
Yeah.
my interview. I was wearing my nice white skirt, a leather jacket. I was ready, but I had nothing on my face in terms of makeup. So I get into this place, and it's a department store. What is a department store? A department store is a company that sells everything, clothing, makeup, or whatever. So I get into this place, and I was interviewed, and I don't know, maybe I didn't speak fluent. I was not confident. I don't know. But for me, I
You had
didn't
no
get the
makeup.
job. As I got out of this the you know, the interview area, the first place that I saw was the makeup
Yeah.
store. I was like, oh wow, look at that, you know, and it clicked right there and then. Your face didn't say anything with regards to
That.
because everyone in the store had on a full face of
Yeah.
makeup. They looked like they were Barbie dolls. They looked a certain way. So depending on what you're going for, depending on what you're trying to achieve, and depending on what you're trying to do, it matters what you put on your face and how you put it and what you do. For me, that was a learning experience. So I went into a store, and I got myself what I needed to have makeup, and that's when the journey started for me.
Wow. Okay. So I'd like to make a request. Okay. You don't have to. You're welcome to say no. But I'd like to make a request. As a person who's also guilty of what you guys are talking about, but I don't think that women are dumb because they wear makeup. I just
What? You don't think women are what?
are dumb because they wear makeup. Why is that funny? Why is that funny?
No, because that sounds like something you would say. Oh my
Wow,
gosh.
man.
Okay, L-Zee,
There you goes
moving
me to
right
be a
along.
villain
No,
again.
moving right along.
Come on. Like,
Wow, this
I just
guy.
love women that are purely natural.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I mean? So, I never really liked makeup ever. And my host over there will tell you, I called him gay when he wore makeup on TV. You
Mm.
know, well, he kind of did look gay, but that's,
I
that's
think when
argument
we
for another
when
day.
we say natural, then it means we're being biased because everyone puts on a lotion. Everyone puts on something on their face. If you look at the Himba women, they put on a different type of um, product on their face, and they look a
Yeah,
certain way because for them it's like a sun protection, it's like sunscreen. But
yeah.
they put something on their face and they feel proud and they look beautiful
Mhm.
because it's who they are. They're sticking to what they know and to what works for them.
Mm.
But if someone else were to look at them, they'll be like, "What do you have on your face?" So if you're not wanting to, yeah, how do I put this? We all put something on our faces. Men put lotion on their face. They put something on their face.
Mm.
If we're not into makeup, then none of the people in this world will put anything, including lotion, onto their face.
But lotion's not makeup.
What is makeup?
First of all, from what okay, I'm not gonna go into detail because I don't know makeup like that. But from what I deem as makeup
It's not
is when I'm
vanity.
looking at you and I can see things on your face,
Mm,
like your cheeks will be a certain color.
mm.
Uh, okay, lipstick. We all know what lipstick is.
It's
But
also
then
makeup.
then you see things around your eyes, like your eye all around is like dark black and whatnot. To me, it looks kind of creepy.
Also, women put on. They create their faces into this thing.
I don't
It's
recall
called.
saying I like that either.
I'm just.
Because it's a terrible argument. Because I don't like that either. I honestly don't.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying women shouldn't. I'm just saying for my preference,
Mm.
which is irrelevant.
Let's
Which
just
is
go back to
irrelevant.
that because men also put makeup on.
Yes, that is
The
true.
one that we look up to as
Like
our.
I said, that
Mm.
guy over there with the tight pants over there. But
And I'm unashamed about it, man.
well,
It's preference.
It's
But
preference.
whatever
Like,
you prefer, you can't force your views on someone, whether it's your partner, your mother, your child, your sister, your niece, your nephew. You do you. If you feel like you don't like makeup and you don't want a wife that wears makeup, don't marry a girl that wears makeup and then expect it to change once you're married.
sorry,
true.
Sierra.
Yeah.
It's
We
gonna
can't-
it's
we
gonna
can't
go.
make it.
It's not gonna end well.
Yeah.
I think you should pick your arguments because this is something that she likes to do, or
Yeah.
this is something that will help her. Like for instance, she has to. Let's say she's expected to wear this because she's a TV presenter. Are you gonna say, "Baby, no, don't go on TV with the makeup on because it looks stupid"?
No. You see, this is what I don't like. Why are you making it seem ugly? Because I didn't say none of that. All I said preference.
You
I
said it
said
looks
preference.
creepy.
It does look creepy.
Creepy
Why do you have to
means
blacken your eyes, man?
it's
Like,
how look people. Certain
looks
people do
goddamn.
it a certain way. Like I went into the radio station just now the other day, and this girl, I was like, "Oh wow, it's raining outside. At least my makeup is set." That's what I said. And then she's like, "You wearing makeup?" I said, "There you go. Put your love glasses on." I said, and then everyone laughed. And I was like, "Okay, you can't see what I have on clearly because you do it different than me."
You see, I prefer that. I shouldn't see it.
Yes.
Because the makeup I have a problem with is when I can see it.
But you can see it because if you do see it, just like appreciate it because it's about enhancing what is already there.
I have a question for Mrs. Kenny over there. First of all, You started a controversy. You're contradicting yourself. You are the same person who said you don't want your child to have makeup until 21.
Yes. And I'm also saying that's my child.
Yeah.
She comes out of
Exactly.
my womb.
Yeah.
I can say that.
Yeah.
And what did the quote say?
You don't owe prettiness to no one. Your mother,
Including-
your child, yours, anyone, anything in this world.
No.
And,
Yes, you don't.
And also, this is what my sister did to my niece. She said, "Yeah, on the day you can afford to pay your own, then you can have it. I will not buy it
Exactly.
for you." It's
Exactly.
we should not make it a thing of, because it took me living the country before I was comfortable enough to wear it, and
Yeah.
it was my own money, my own, because I was not encouraged by my mom or anyone in my family to buy it.
Yeah.
It's not a thing, especially for a Xhosa lady like I am. We don't do it because, like, wow, do it, girl? No, for us it's a no. We're not encouraged to put makeup on. It's not something that we sit around the table and be like, okay, you will not put
Discuss.
whatever. But the minute you do something that is creepy, as you said, that's your favorite word, then the parents will be like, take that off and wash your face.
Yeah.
Because this one time, guys, I'll tell you a story. I was coming from school and it was a Thursday. Every morning we had to wake up at early, so to catch the taxi to go to school, because where we stayed there was no taxi, so you had to catch the earliest taxi ever. It was in Beacon Bay, so we go home now every morning. And now it's a Thursday. Remind you, we've been waking up so early, and school is tiring. We come home and you're so tired. And then I looked a certain way, also known as having panda eyes. Panda eyes when your eyes are so black, and then your
Pen.
yeah, and the rest of your face is different because you're so tired. You're a kid. You go, it's a new school. Everything is new. It's just so much pressure. And I get home, my mom is like, "What do you have on your face?" She thought I had something on my face. My face was so different to a point where she didn't think I was tired. She thought I had something on my eyes, like I had makeup on, and then I rubbed it off. And she was just shouting at me and just shouting. And my sister had to come in, and she's like, "No, she doesn't have anything on her face." But it was a strict, like you said, Anado, it was a strict no makeup on. You're not allowed to have any of those things on you. So parents do play a huge role, especially across women. They tell you that is ridiculous. They don't encourage it at all. But because this is something I love, so me starting my YouTube channel and my Facebook page and my Instagram page called The Real Civil, so I can educate certain people to a point where it's not necessarily, don't feel pressure to do it.
Yes.
If you're going to do it, you can do it a certain way so that you don't, one, waste money, two, feel like you owe it to someone else, or three, because certain stores will not tell you the real truth. They just want to sell you a product, So for me, it's like the cheapest, the most affordable, but the most to look the best on you.
Yes.
Okay, can I just say something? You know what? As a mother, the reason why I'm saying that my child is not wearing makeup up until 21 or whatever age, because now in this day and age, our kids don't look like kids anymore.
Yes.
You find that a 9-year-old will look like a 15-year-old because they look big in body, physically. Do you understand? And now you add makeup on their child's face, and then this child, someone looks like a 21-year-old. And then guy starts chasing this child.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
And then this child gets made aware of stuff, of feelings, and then, so men do exist. Okay. And then the child starts asking questions to their friends and so on, and then they become aware of guys, and then they start dating at a young age. There are 9-year-olds, there are 10-year-olds, they fall pregnant, that have kids. In South Africa, that used to happen in America. Now it's here. I used to go to school with I was in standard 3, and that girl, my classmate had a baby, and it was like, oh my gosh, how old is she? My child is doing grade 4 next year, and I become more aware of her, like becoming a teenager one of these days. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for me, I would rather shield her. But if she asks me questions, I tell about these things. But I would rather shield her and keep her innocence than exposing her to all of these things.
Yes.
I am so blessed that my child is very mellow. She's like still likes playing, and she's like she's not at that age yet where she's like, oh boys, oh this. Do you understand what I'm saying? She's still young, and her innocence is still reserved Do you understand what I'm saying? So, as a parent, I will never want to be in a position where I make my child older than what she is or expose her to stuff that I'm not supposed to expose her yet.
Yes.
I remember for myself, I was in standard 4, 5, and they used to say I was Naomi Campbell because apparently I was built like her. And I had pairs, you know, my breast started growing and boys started noticing and stuff. And people would compliment me. And
Why are you smiling still? He's smiling alone
do
there.
you understand?
What you
Why
mean?
you
What you talking
smiling?
about? No, I'm just. No, this guy. I'm busy. I'm busy on my phone now. He thinks, no, man.
And then people started complimenting. And at that time, my friends were also like guys started pursuing me. And my friend was like, Anna, stop being such a granny. This guy likes you. And I was like,
What?
no. And as I grew older, I went to high school. I was in standard 8, and you get peer pressured. Do you understand? And for me, I was never someone that would be like, oh, I want to date that person. It's like we weren't raised that way.
Yes.
Every single
Come on.
Friday when we were in high school, it started from standard 5. My mother would sit us at the end of the bed. This is what happens when you deal with boys. She would like do the whole sex thing with us.
Come
Do you
on.
understand? And she would traumatize us that much that when I'm on my period and I see boys, I would run the other way because my mother said I would fall pregnant immediately, and it's extremely painful to push a baby out. Do you understand? She would,
Oh.
and eventually when I realized, oh, this woman was lying to me, but I appreciated it. Do you understand? Because back then our parents didn't really know how to approach the subject
Yeah.
or the topic with us.
Yeah.
So I appreciated that my mother raised me that way, in such a manner, because she was a single mother.
Yeah.
There was never a father involved. So she was like, I am mother, father, so I need to take care of this child. So what happened to me doesn't happen to her. And I appreciate my grandmother laid the foundation of God. She introduced me to Jesus. And when my grandmother passed, she introduced me to Jesus when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And that never left me. So even with my mother,
Come on.
although she didn't go to church, she always encouraged me, go to church, serve God.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So she was male and female in my life. And I never felt the lack of a male figure in my life.
Yeah.
It was never like, when it's Father's Day, I'm like, it's just another day for me. There was never like, oh, I need to go for counseling because I never had a father. I do have a father. I still have a father, but he never played that role in my life.
Yeah.
So I think that we need to preserve our kids longer. Like we need to keep the innocence and not exploit them to things that they are not ready to experience yet.
Yes. Oh man, you're making me happy right now. You are making me happy.
Why are you being
Okay.
happy now?
First of all, give a round of applause to Anador for being such an awesome parent. Come on, man. Come on.
Thank you, guys.
Wait. I wanna.
Yeah. Man. Come on.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Now, for those like we said earlier on, Anador is married. See, those teachings led to her making beautiful choices. Okay, so guys, listen to Anador. She's a woman. Clearly, you guys don't want to listen to me because I'm a guy. So listen to Anador. Thank you for that, man. That was beautiful.
Welcome.
Still anything else you want to add, man?
Nah, man, I'm happy.
Oh, man, this was definitely informative.
It's been really awesome, dude.
I'm never gonna look at social media the same way again.
I don't
man.
think so, dude. Like, it's crazy because, like, I'm sitting here the whole time as we're discussing social media. I'm busy thinking to myself. I even went on. I'm like, who's the owner of Snapchat? And I saw it's like 2-1, even Spiegel or something like that. And then I'm looking at how much they're worth. And like, the whole thing is like worth 3 point something billion something rand. And it was just started in 2011, and it's already worth 3 billion rand.
Snapchat still
I mean,
2011.
dollars. Yeah,
It's a recent thing.
Wow.
2011. And
DJ
it's already
Khaled is like the king of Snapchat.
Yeah,
dude. And it's
He's
already worth
running
3.8
Snapchat right
billion dollars, bro. I'm
Yeah.
thinking to my, now I'm thinking to myself, wait, how should I create an app? What app would I probably create? I'm like this to myself. Snap, bro. Like, it's
this
crazy.
app game is very dangerous, man, but
Dude.
it's
And there's something and I can, for me, what I can already like maybe see, predict, maybe is that something else is gonna come up to the next.
Definitely.
Something else is gonna come up, and people are gonna be making billions of dollars again because. So I really want to take what's been said here seriously, man, and really try and see how I can focus it and stuff. It's just that I think when it comes to creating these apps and stuff like that, these media platforms,
Yeah.
obviously you need like good IT specialists and stuff like that. I mean, nah, and it all like it's interlinked.
You
nah.
would think.
Really?
Then you find that some of them are one-man shows.
You serious?
Understand? Yeah. You know, kids in America have got nothing to do but surf the internet.
Yeah.
There's a girl
And
here.
they've
The
got
internet is so
internet on
fast, man.
steroids
True.
over there. It's not as expensive as it's here. So they can sit the entire day on the internet and teach themselves. Do you understand? There are children in grade 5, grade 7. Do you understand? Young kids. You see them doing tutorials on YouTube and you're like, this child is then so young. How can this child teach
They
me?
got like 50,000
Exactly.
subscribers. Bro.
Exactly.
There's a girl from Tata right here in the Eastern Cape. She's black. She created an app to help young girls to find. She's in matric, grade 12. So she created an app to help those in grade 12 to find out what careers they can, like career guidance,
Yeah.
which university they can apply for, how to go about it, which subjects they must take while they're in high school, so that if someone does not come into the school to teach them or guide them as to what to do next. So she's black, she's South African, she's right here from the Eastern Cape, so it doesn't take Americans or for countries people. She even won an award from Telcom. Not Telcom, Telcom gave her an award for the best person to think outside of the box, and they sponsored her to
Innovative.
innovative. Yes, that's the word. Thank you.
Wow.
So it doesn't take someone from anywhere in the world, outside. It can be anyone as long as you have the dream and the vision. It's doable.
Come on. Yeah. Guys, before we close, any words that you wanna
I just
share
want to
to the people?
say, young people, use social media responsibly.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Social media is not a venting platform. Social media is not there for you to gossip about people, to throw shade, to be ugly. But if we use it as a positive tool, I think the world would be a better place. Because at this point in time where we're all at, social media is like the key thing. Social media is an influencer on itself.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So if we use it to influence people in a positive way, all this negativity can just fall on its back.
Yeah.
Come on.
Something went around, videos about these girls doing adult stuff at the past function called the Cruel Summer. You know, and I was like, oh my goodness. A friend of mine said, you know what? My son actually wanted to go there. And I was like, okay, let's go. She said, my white skinny is still clean. I just washed it yesterday. So she starts putting it on, and he's 16 years old. And he was like, hi, Ma, where you going? And she's like, no, I can't let you go alone because you must underage. Let me go with you. Because the entire time he's been asking, she's been saying no. Mind you, a ticket is like 250 Rand. She's been saying no. And this child kept on, and she was like, okay, fine. You don't want to listen. I'm saying no, but yet you are insisting. So let me go with you. And then he's like, okay, I'm not going anymore. He said there, switch on Cartoon Network and watch Cartoon Network the entire day. And that's a person that actually wants to go to the Cruel Summer. You get drugs like flakka nowadays and all these bad things. Children get spiked. So my question to these two girls that were being R-ratedly explicit in what they were doing on a stand and in a crowd, I was like, what if their child is drugged? Because now their reputation is gone.
It's gone.
Do you understand? And I was like, what if it's your child? Your child goes to these things. You think your child is safe.
Or your sister.
I wouldn't even send my 16-year-old to the mall alone. I am that paranoid. My child is going to go to the mall alone when she's sane. One day, she's like 21 and whatever. But as long as I still deem her as a child under my roof, I'll go with her. If she wants to go to the movies, I'll go drop her in the movies. I'll sit at a restaurant and wait for her, or I'll go shopping. And then
Oh.
when the movie comes out, I'll go there. I'll go fetch my child. Because in this day and age, you open your eyes and your child is already on their way to the border.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Being
Mm.
kidnapped or something. You cannot trust anything nowadays. You go to the mall and then robbers come and they rob the shop. There's gunshots everywhere. So you're like, oh my goodness, now
And they track
what now?
via social media.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
So in
Yeah.
that checking thing, chilling at Magan Bean,
Yeah.
you'll check in,
Yes.
chilling at
Yeah.
Magan Bean, and they're already at your house breaking in because you are checking
You're
in, you are
checking in at
chilling
Magan-
at Magan
Yeah.
Bean.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you can't be too socially exposed nowadays.
Sure.
Yeah.
Think carefully what you post on social media.
Yeah.
I think the saddest,
Protect you and protect the next
Yeah.
person.
the most
Yeah.
saddest was this one. Another, this young girl, this American girl, she had a concert in England, and she had the most youngest. She had the youngest people in her concert there. I was so mad. She had the youngest people in her concert because they wanted to see her. They like her and everything. And there was a bomb because someone was on a mission to make sure they can kill the most children. There were children as young as like 5, because this is who they, and this artist, she's just as young herself. She's a singer, and it was the saddest thing. But these children went with their parents, but someone still was able to get a bomb in there. It's just the society is just, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? Society out there, people are so cruel and mean. They just want to destroy and kill, because that's what the enemy does, try to destroy and kill and stuff. They didn't have to be at that concert, but how do we live our lives not being like, are we supposed to be like police, this and this and that?
My problem with that is I understand what you're saying, but at least they were with their parents there. So the parent would make a mature decision, a calculated decision. Let's go to the nearest exit or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes, you can't foresee bombers and gunmen and robbers and thieves, but be there. Do everything you can in your might to make sure that your child is safe. You're going to send your child alone to a concert. How is their child going to know what to do in a situation like that?
situation.
Do you
Oh.
understand? So as long as you there and you're making sure that this child is protected and your child has you, then you've done everything. The rest is in God's hands.
Because the trolling is also there as well, man. It's so sad. I was seeing this one post of this well, this guy was like sharing. He shared it. I first saw it on Twitter, and then I saw it on Facebook as well. There's this other lady, man. Actually, that thing broke my heart for real. She's a young teen, Caucasian, a bit plump and everything, right? And she was wearing a skirt. And then I don't know who took a picture. Someone took a picture, from the behind. Took a picture from the from behind, and then posted on social media. And then they circled like this thing of between her thigh and her calf. You understand? Because obviously, I mean, and they circled it, and then it's like they were trolling her, and it's like, and then she texts her mom and says, "Mom, please bring me a pair of jeans and stuff like that. I'm at the mall. Um, people making fun of me and stuff like that." And I was like, so unnecessary on social media. And I'm like,
Yes.
so unnecessary, and
That is ugly.
stuff like that, man. I don't understand. Like, yo, that hurt me. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
that hurt me. So
Wow.
yeah, it's just, please,
Bullying is bullying.
yeah,
It happens on
Yeah.
social media, at school, and so on. Like, unfortunately, what can you do? But just try and make the situation better.
yeah,
By you not acting that way,
yeah.
that's
true,
one less person being part of that ugly world.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is this is parenting 101, man. Yeah.
Straight up, dude. Straight up. L-Zee, close it up, man.
Before we do, ladies, give out your handles if you wanna.
You can find me on most of the social media platforms. On YouTube, I am The Real Sibu. Instagram, The Real Civil, and Facebook as well, The Real Civil, THE.
And YouTube.
And YouTube, I've started with YouTube, The Real Civil.
You can find me as Enida Kenny
Yes.
on Twitter and Instagram, and Enida Shearer on Facebook.
Yes.
Awesome
Lovely,
stuff.
lovely. Still?
My handle, Steel_Dlamini, Instagram, Twitter. There. That's it.
I'm L-Zee Braden's Finest on Facebook, L-Zee Braden's Finest on Instagram, L-Zee Braden's Finest on Twitter, and SoundCloud.
Why don't you just say L-Zee Brilliance Filers all around?
You didn't say that when Sivu was doing that. Wow,
Oh.
why you gotta try and challenge me right now? Why can't we just end on a good note still? Why can't we just end on a good note?
Okay, let's
Come
end on
on,
a good
man,
note.
come on.
Peace in the
Let's
Middle
end on a good
East.
note. Let's end on a good note. Oh,
We are Blueprint Sessions on all platforms.
yes.
Yeah, that one was for Steel right there.
Thank you, homie. Thank you, man.
Please do subscribe to our channel and show some love to the ladies on their social media platforms, and say a big thank you, because this was a very informative
Yeah, man.
and
Yo.
man, this is a very important episode. I love this episode. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having
appreciate
us.
it. And we out.
That's right.